A man called Marwan Melonius used the Man Palace technique to remember 5,040 binary digits in just 30 minutes and a complete deck of 52 cards in just 33 seconds. You don't need to be a genius to do it. Literally anybody can do it. It just takes practice and a bit of perfecting. But once you have it under your belt, especially if you're a student in school or university or college, if you are able to use a technique like the Man Palace technique, it will revolutionize your exams based on the evidence that they have. So the Man Palace technique basically combines two separate types of memory, visual memory and spatial memory. So in order for the Man Palace technique to work, first you would need to have a visual map in your head. Ordinarily that would be your house, because like everyone knows what their house looks like. You don't need to sit down and try and remember what your house looks like. You've already got it in your head, right? Other places apart from your house could be a place like your college, your school, your university. Video game map, like a video game that you play very regularly, a map in the video game that you know really well. Once you've decided on your map's location, you need to establish the permanent items within each room within your map. So that would be 3 to 5 permanent items. Go and stand in the doorway of each room in your house. If it's your house, that's your location. And just look around the room in a clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. It's important that you determine which direction you want to go first. So I'd recommend maybe doing clockwise. So in a clockwise direction, just pick out 4 to 5 prominent items. So not like really small items like a sticker on your wall or something like that's this big. Like I mean like prominent items, like maybe a big painting, your bed, like your chest of drawers. Prominent items, they need to be big and prominent. Also make sure that they're spread out as well. Don't just choose like 5 items that are like really close together. Make sure they're spread out throughout the room so that it helps you to separate them out in your mind, because it's all about spatial memory. And don't select the same objects. If you choose a chair in your bedroom, don't go and choose another chair in the sitting room. Choose different items. And similarly, if you have like maybe in the dining room you have the dining table and like 5 chairs around it, don't just choose 5 chairs like around the dining table. Choose different items, because if you're choosing the same ones, it's going to confuse your brain. If you have your items, then what you need to do is you need to establish your route around your house. Imagine yourself walking through like the front door and then going through each room and walking around in a clockwise direction within each room, and then seeing the 5 prominent items that you have within the rooms. It needs to be the same route every single time. Many people think that they can just go into like their memory palace and just like walk around and then like see random objects within their memory palace and then remember random bits of information. Although that's a really cool concept, it doesn't really work like that. You have to be able to do it in a chronological order, because that's how your brain is going to be able to remember it better. That's how the Man Palace technique works. So make sure you're visualizing yourself with the same route every single time. Maybe like walking through the front door, walking around each room in a clockwise direction and seeing the same 5 items in order. So the items all need to be in order, because this technique relies on repetition and visual cues. Once you have determined the route and your permanent objects, what you need to do is practice to get it in your head. Practice reciting the objects in your head and visualizing it in chronological order. So obviously like maybe you walk into your house and the first room is your like parents' bedroom or something, and then you've chosen like the 5 objects, and then the second room is your bedroom and you choose the next 5 objects. The next room is like the sitting room or something and you choose those 5 objects. So you have like maybe 15 objects in total if you only have those 3 rooms in your house. Obviously I'm speaking like in example purposes. So then what you want to do is you want to be able to recite and visualize those 15 objects in order. So from your parents' bedroom to your bedroom to the sitting room, you want to be able to say them in order, like 1 to 15, and then backwards as well, 15 to 1, and visualize each one. And then you need to be able to know it so well that it gets to the point where if somebody was to ask you, okay, what's object number 3 in your bedroom, then you'll be able to say it just like that. Like you don't have to think about it, it comes to you straight away. Let's say you're trying to remember a list of like animal names. So for example, like cat, dog, cow, and bee. The 3rd one is cow. Assign the cow with the 3rd object in your memory palace list. So let's say that the 3rd object in your parents' bedroom is I don't know, a wardrobe. So then you can imagine like the cow just like demolishing the wardrobe or something and like trying to tear it down. You need to really visualize it and use lots of sensory stimulation. Add in all the mooing, all the sounds of the wardrobe being demolished, add in all the emotions, like you feeling sad about your wardrobe or your parents' wardrobe being demolished, and make it as bizarre and as visually and auditory stimulating as possible so it sticks in your head more. And make sure it's in chronological order. So obviously the cow is the 3rd item in our list and the wardrobe was the 3rd object, so make sure it's chronologically assigned so that you're able to go through the items in your memory palace one by one and remember each item and each information associated with it in chronological order. If the information is not something that as visual as like a cow, the name of a cow, so you can imagine a cow straight away. If it's something less, you know, visually stimulating, for example a number, if you're trying to remember a list of numbers, then you need to try and be, or maybe like a deck of cards, you need to try and be a bit more creative with that. For example, let's say third number on your list is 53, and then obviously the third item is the wardrobe. Maybe you can imagine a hanger in the wardrobe has been twisted out of shape and it's made a 5, and another hanger in the wardrobe has been twisted, like completely bent out of shape to make a 3. Then you have just in the wardrobe hanging a twisted hanger 5 and a twisted hanger 3, something like that, you know. Try and be creative about it so that you can assign the information to the object in the best way that you can. And then obviously just go through your list and assign each bit of information to each object within your memory palace, and that way eventually you're going to be able to remember and you know, go through the memory palace and just remember each bit of information. Obviously, like a concern would be that if you want to remember like multiple different lists and multiple different pieces of information, you won't be able to assign different information to the same object. So you would have to use obviously different memory palaces for different things. So you can use your memory palace house for I don't know, one list of like the animal names, and then maybe you can use the map in your video game for another list, like a list of numbers or something. So you'd have to make different memory palaces. Obviously that may seem really challenging and really time consuming, but ease and speed will come with time. You need to practice as much as you can and really try and hone in those skills of visualization before that mind palace technique really goes under your belt and you're able to do it like really easily. And once you get to that stage, you will pretty much have something akin to photographic memory. Photographic memory, with these kind of techniques, photographic memory can basically be developed in a way, because this kind of technique is going to be able to help you memorize tons and tons of information once you have it under your belt. And as a student, that could be really, really beneficial for you, which is why I'm sharing it on my channel. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say other than good luck with your exams if you're a student, or if you're just not a student and you're watching this because you want to learn about the mind palace. Good luck with whatever you're trying to memorize. You got this, and yeah, bye guys.